Okay, this week I recorded every single trade I took live, so I'm gonna show you all them recordings here, and it was a very good week for the first time I've ever done this before. So I cover lots of points psychologically, how to handle losses, how to think during live trades, as well as how to get entries correctly on the 5-minute time frame so your results are actually not too different from what you might get in backtesting. So without further ado, let's jump into the first trade I took this week. Pretty early, I woke up like an hour or so ago, hence the current hair, but hopefully this trade will give me a nice morning wake up. Let's see. Here's position, of course. I got a break of candle entry, pretty nice. Play this out, and we'll see what happens. Yeah, it's moving a little bit slow, which is kind of expected for this time. It was 4:25 AM UK time, so probably just gonna come back to this in a minute and see what happens. There's no point in me just sitting here the whole time waiting and doing nothing. I had a new 30-minute open and it's pushing up right away, so probably going to be a loss. It normally is, like, we don't just continue to TP if we're moving around the break-even mark. We'll see, who knows. I mean, positions are still reversed from around here. Okay, it ended up being a loss, but it looks like it's given a re-entry as well, so let's take a look. Re-entry would have been from here, so we're pretty much in the same place, so I'm going to take a re-entry now. Pretty much just do everything mechanically, so there's nothing to think about or extra to do or anything. So we'll just take the re-entry. And this is, over the last 2 weeks, is the freedom I've had in the 5-minute. No trading time, literally just trading whenever I want if I'm at home. If I want to trade, then I'll trade. If I want to go out and do something, I'll just go out and do something. No fixed time. It's basically the freedom that you would have actually wanted to have as a trader. That's what I've been doing recently on the 5-minute, and it's been working amazing. This is 7.6, so 1 to 2.5 based off those rules. And we shall see what happens in this one. Yeah, that TP is pretty much exactly on the lows, to be honest, so 2.5, so I'm going to take out the lows because it's a little bit smaller in number here. This is at 8.1, so this is actually, I'm looking at that, but really you should base it off the actual TP that happened. Obviously this one is a re-entry, it went higher than the initial one, so there's no reason for me to use 1 click above because it's already gone extra distance into the zone. So it makes it 6.4, which I believe is the same for this. Yeah, 1 to 3, so it's just here in the actual re-entry for 1 to 3, so I wasn't actually here. And for me, it was a little bit above. Seeing how this is coming down right now, I'm completely fine with just taking out the lows and leaving it at that. With the re-entry, I always enter with half risk compared to the first one, just so I don't take 2 losses in the same trade. Mostly just for psychology, there's no real other reason behind it. Your edge is more than good enough, even taking re-entries with the exact same risk. After a drop like that in one candle, you're going to expect some type of retracement. At least in the first couple minutes of this candle, so just expected normal price action to play out here. No, I just someone in my Discord, I just see they're playing backtesting. I click on it, like how they're playing backtesting, and they're just playing Fortnite ranked solos. Come on, man. Tricked me into thinking he was locked in. That'll be a life lesson for you guys. Never be caught not locked in. Maybe I was about to send that guy a message, give him $1 million to trade on live capital, and I just see that he's not locked in, and now I'm ignoring it. That's a life lesson. By the way, guys, if you want to get magic keys, then you can get this for trade management, instantly calculating lot size. Super nice to have a physical keyboard, so if you want to get this, I'll leave a discount code in the description. For trading 5-minute and lower time frames, you need something like this. For 30-minute time frame, it's also pretty helpful. You don't 100% need it, but it makes a big difference. That's basically how I can just enter instantly, risk automatically calculated, all that type of stuff. So yeah, at the moment, every single morning, I wake up with no phone, that type of thing. Do my reading outside, and then I just come here and just write any lessons I've learned, either realizations I've had from my own life, from whatever book I'm reading. Just get down anything, even if you can't think of anything to write. Just writing every morning, having loads of ideas, and just having your mind in a good state for thinking, doing general stuff. Okay then, so I just finished my journaling today, and I'll read this to you guys right here, because this is very helpful for the mindset of a trader. And if you want to become consistent to any sort of extent, you have to understand these concepts. So today, whatever it is, the human mind always craves reasoning whenever something bad happens. It's hardwired and ingrained into our human nature. From an evolutionary perspective, knowing why you got injured, why someone got an illness, why someone isn't liked and gets ostracized from a group would be the difference between you surviving or not. In today's society, these are the four most common ways the mind creates reasons and explanations for bad things. Someone or some group sabotaged me, large antagonistic forces such as government or social conventions hindered me, I received bad advice or information was kept from me. Or if none could be found at all, it was bad luck and unfortunate circumstances. These explanations tend to emphasize our helplessness in the situation, and we can't give an exact reason, only assume. This makes any feeling of anger, frustration, etc. amplified, which is the opposite to what accepting the situation to either have no cause or meaning, or accepting as your own fault would do. As a trader, you see people unable to accept losses as meaningless and always try to find a reason for them. You even see entire channels and people built off exploiting this factor of human nature. The ones who say the algorithm is against traders and always have a complex, obvious in hindsight reason to why a trade lost. In general, accepting that everything is not external and is your own fault, or often the case in trading, no one's at all, means you actually have the power to change it. Whereas those who like to wallow in their own incompetence will offset everything to other people's faults or made up external influences. So that's what I wrote today, and it rings very true. The specific thing about the trading industry, like you see the whole thing is just kind of exploiting human nature. That's one of the biggest things you'll realize after actually becoming profitable. And obviously, to accept all situations your own fault, or not create reasons and excuses like, oh, it's the markets, or this trade lost because of this level I didn't see, because of this thing going on, this. And with these types of people who are like going all into this nature of thinking, it's no coincidence that they have the most complicated strategies with made up words. It almost sounds like a different language. There's 100 things going on, and there's always a reason for every loss. Well, they're just operating from this type of mindset, and obviously in that state, you can't be profitable consistent. So understanding that and obviously reframing your mindset to think this way, realizing places you might be giving power away by saying it's this fault, it's this person's fault, it's this thing's fault. All you're doing is just giving power away, because you can only control the things that are your fault and under your control, which in reality is actually everything. But the mind always wants to make excuses to run away from things that either you're the problem or there's many reasons it could be. So that's that one. That's what I got from my journaling this morning, and just writing things like I have been has been very helpful. It's something I did all throughout the start of my journey, because it allows you to just become very aware of things, think about them properly, figure stuff out that people who don't take the time will never really come to the conclusions of. So one of the most helpful habits in my opinion, just for success and understanding in general. And apart from that, you just want to be feeling good or living a good life. You always want to be growing and figuring things out. The quote that when you're not learning or when you're not growing, you're dying is very true, because then what are you even doing? You're just existing as the same person in the same state, and all you can be doing is repeating habits, repeating things with the same mindsets and the same thoughts you would have had about them in the past and you still have about them now, instead of the exact same situation for me 1 year later can be perceived completely different, or I can see it completely differently because I'm a different person and I was growing throughout that whole year and learning throughout that whole year, as opposed to just existing in the same state. Then that exact same situation the next year is just the same thing. Eventually life becomes boring, eventually life becomes stagnant. People don't feel good anymore because nothing is new, everything's the same. But the reality is you can make the exact same situations new by just being a different person yourself, having a deeper understanding of life and all these things. So yeah, that's that one. Those are my takes on this morning. In terms of this trade, it's taken a long time now. This recording's been an hour and a half, but there we go. I'm not just sitting in front of the charts doing nothing. I've done reading, journaling, I've eaten breakfast, all this stuff within this hour and a half while this trade's playing out, and the trade hasn't affected me whatsoever. It's just here and it's just playing. So there you go. That's how you think and operate as a profitable trader. I'll leave this playing out still. Maybe I'll come back in 4 hours, it'll still be here, who knows. Alright, there we go, we just hit on UJ, initial one right here. And then on re-entries I'll take half risk, so took this one. And that was pretty nice. So technically, this is the correct entry. I was outside and I got in like here. It was more or less the exact same, to be honest. So -1 and then 3.5. That's a good start to the morning. Alright, so as you can see on this one, initial entry ended up being a fake out, and right here we've got in flip straight away on the next candle. So it had no top wick, came down with a lot of momentum. Had to be very quick for this one, so thankfully for magic keys, without that I would not have been able to risk properly. Looks like this was put us at 1 to 2.5 again, so is our target just above the high here. Alright, this is looking pretty good. We're actually seeing momentum. On this one, the first entry just kind of hung around here, didn't really move that much. On this one, a lot of momentum's coming in, so that's nice. Nice. Trading the 5 minute this time can be a little bit tedious in terms of how long it takes to play out, or I can move with a lot of volume up and move a lot of volume down, so it can go quickly. Right now it's just doing nothing. Alright, then there we go. Finally 1 to 2.5 is hit on this. It took about 2 hours 45 minutes in the end. This has been a couple of long trades on the re-entries the last few days, but whatever, we held the trade, hit TP. Let's move on to the next one. Alright guys, we have GJ here tapping the zone on a very nice zone in terms of liquidity. Didn't take out the high, but took out this recent one, so this is fine. It's about to be a new half-an-hour candle, so probably have to be quick for the potential entry, and hopefully we can get a nice flip on this one. See what happens. Obviously first we need to actually respect the zone, and then new 30-minute candle can hopefully help us out. This one also has no top wick, so just a good sign for potential movement to the upside. I'll assume we're going to close respecting here when it's this close, especially with the upcoming candle. And I hope it does, because this looks like a pretty nice trade as well. Let's see, 30 seconds here, we are right on the edge of the zone. Hopefully this last candle can give us a nice push. Yeah, nice. So obviously just looking for it to close respecting here, and then the new 30-minute candle makes a bottom wick. I'll be getting him flipped nicely on this one. Risk to reward can be pretty good as well here. Okay. New 30-minute candle opens, but it's not made a bottom wick. Just push straight upwards, so see if we can retest the zone, then we'll have a pretty nice flip. That'll be right here. So yeah, if this retests the zone and flips, this is where I'll be getting in, and it will be a 1-3. There is potential for me to, depending on where it taps the zone, to use a stop loss above that. If it's closer, it's definitely something we can do. especially on high time frame flips when it's the second candle in the zone. Cool, we made a very, very small bottom wick there. So nothing I use for an aggressive entry, but I have a potential close entry now. Here we go. Decent bottom wick now has formed, and we didn't flip and push to the downside. Still holding here, so that's a good sign. Okay, I see this wick being very deep into the zone, so I'm okay just covering it by halfway around here, and it'll make our risk reward a bit better. Alright, it's pushing up quite far for the close, so just looking to cover zone, keep our risk reward good. So we can survive a small retest, but also be fairly safe. Cool, we're in here. Yeah, I don't know why. I just risked the wrong amount. What I was meant to do was something like this. Because this is my copier account, it's a live account, but it's a copier, and if I get it wrong here, then it's just not going to be right anywhere else. And that's also giving me a bit of a better entry, so would you look at that. Which means my 1 to 3 is a little bit closer. So yeah, this is just a small live account I use for my copier. But it's been nice to make a little bit of profit on the 5-minute live trades, because my funded accounts right now have been in drawdown for a while, and also very low risk. I'm just maintaining them. The 5 minutes definitely help to keep that equity up. And today I'm actually in a 30-minute trade on EU that's playing out nicely. This might be the one. This might finally be the one. We'll see. But yeah, for now, this is the GJ trade, and like I said, it's nice to make a little bit of profit. This will be £150 on live if it doesn't end up hitting, and it's the same for the other 5-minute trades. So that's the position. Now I'm just going to leave it play out because I need to go and get my laundry and be quick because it was already cold. So right here seems we are retesting. We can very simply. Oh, it's accidentally closed. Okay. Well, that was not meant to happen. Yeah, we've retested the zone now, so I'm okay with just putting it underneath here, but that's not ideal. I don't know why I thought that would pull up the screen where I can manage the position. I don't really know what I was thinking. All I needed to do was click on market execution and go on it like that. Alright, yeah, I'm gonna have to move this back to where it's meant to be now, because especially with London Open, we have a strong chance for a retest, and I don't want to let that mistake be the reason it loses, so I'll just have to risk a little bit extra on this one, so it is what it is. Let's see, new one when it opens, and let's start that rejection. Oh, this ends up winning. I'll be very glad I was back here to manage the position. Actually, no, it wouldn't have made a difference because then I wouldn't have accidentally closed. What am I talking about? My stop loss would have already been down here, so it would have been fine. Well, here we are on the third retest. Still holding, we still have momentum. Next candle is the new 1 hour London Open, so this could bring a lot of momentum. Hopefully, it can push us to the upside. This looks like this looks like over trading right here. I managed to get 3 entries. First one was way too small. It was risking like 0.1%. Second one was I accidentally closed it, and here I just put the position in again. It reminded me of my over trading days. I have these arrows all over the place. Just retested the zone again. Fourth retest here. See if it ends up holding. Wow. Amazing close. Perfectly pushed up for a beautiful close in the last couple seconds. Okay. This trade's looking on. It's looking on indeed. Tiny bottom wick in that candle. Starting to push up to the upside. So with that decisive close, this is looking pretty good. Now that we are up, can do what I was meant to do that whole time, which was slightly close the extracts and he entered in, so we're not risking any more than we have to. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. This zone might have some unbelievable power. The immense strength of this zone on its first, second, third, fourth, fifth retest here. How's that for retesting zones? If this trade wins, that's just proof to never close. And also, like, nothing else matters apart from just letting the trade play out. Because I can easily imagine my past self, like, every time something happens here, be like, no, I'm gonna have to close, I have to do something. It literally does not matter whatsoever. Like, this is just lines on the screen. And if you actually still care about it to the extent where you just can't let a trade play out, you're just never going to be able to be profitable, to be honest. So that's that. And so yeah, every push to the downside now is just being immediately corrected. We're very confident in this one at the moment, like I was from the start. I say that you need to be confident from the start. You need to be confident when it's retracing, no matter what's happening. If you're in a trade, your mindset should be confident and positive, rather than, oh, it's retracing against me, oh, it might do this, it might lose. You should always be, oh, it's going to go good, it's clearly going here, this, whatever. Because when you're in a trade, you should be looking for potential extensions. You should be that positive that you're looking to see, okay, it might go further. Obviously not too much, but most people are fearful in a trade instead of positive, which is just the flip side of what you should be. When you're looking to enter trades beforehand, then you should be more defensive and making sure it's actually a good position, because that way only trades you get into will be good positions, and so you should be confident in them. So before a trade, being defensive, being passive. When in a trade and it's going well and it's winning, being aggressive, being positive. It's a flip side of it's the opposite mindset to what most people have. But in every single trade, I'm feeling good about it. I'm looking for an extension. I'm looking for, moving straight to CP, all this stuff. So how long have we been recording this for? 51 minutes. All the 5-minute trades I've had this week. Actually, this is Wednesday, yeah. We've had a winner on each day. They've all been over 1 hour. So I'm wondering if I'm even trading the 5-minute right now. So yeah, it's very common for fake outs on the 5-minute. This obviously also doesn't really mean anything. Like, the zone itself, it doesn't really have any significance. Of course, there's always a chance it holds, but to be honest, it's not. Like, would you want to take this as a trade itself? Would you want to enter this supply? No, you wouldn't. It's not even a trade, so that's also no reason why you want to close any trade you're initially in. It's no difference, right? It goes both ways. And with the positive while in a trade thinking mindset, of course, you're going to expect it blast through this and go straight to TPL to faking some people out, having a bit of retracement as well. The more retracement it has, the more power it has to go to the upside. I mean, just look at any movement all around. Retracements create pushes to the upside, same in both directions. So yeah, people's psychology is kind of like backwards in terms of how they think about things. Let's check the 1-minute time frame, because 1-minute trading is something we definitely use here. Make sure it doesn't accidentally hit beforehand. But keeping my eyes over here on the trading view on my other monitor to make sure. Cool, so this will be the 1-minute candle trail if it ends up hitting in this one, which would put us down here. 100, 112, above 1 to 2 range already, so that'll be completely fine. Cool, so... Oh, because I was moving TP and not stop loss. So yeah, 1 minute trading here. You can basically see we can potentially get way more profit without really any extra risk. It works fairly well in backtesting. A lot of the times it just doesn't make a difference, and right here we'll just get stopped out straight away. But when it does make a difference, you can increase loads of profits without any extra risk. Basically, this is where TP would have been. This is where it now is. So we have loads of potential with the 1 minute trading to continue upwards and basically just get more profit, basically. To continue upwards and just get more profit from the trade. We've even seen this turn 1 to 3s into 1 to 10s before. So for the times where it doesn't make a difference and it just kind of stops you out here. So I ended up closing right here with the 1 minute trading. And yeah, very good trade. Happy with that. So we were out for around a 1.5 in the end, which was very nice. Very, very nice indeed. Alright guys, I have a NAS100 supply here, which I'm considering. So if you look at this, it's just opened 9 AM on the 1 hour time frame. So I'm being a little bit cautious of that in terms of potential volume or anything. But this is a very good trade. Top zone, untapped from this area of structure, so a very good place to trade from. Cool, so entered on the flip here. Obviously now we're a little bit into the candle. There was actually a flip that happened instantly, but that was much too quick, especially with it not tapping the accuracy zone. But now we've come back up, clearly respected. So looking at this one here on the flip, and yeah, this lines up fairly nicely in terms of potential, because realistically here, following structure, we have potential all the way down to these lows. So we'll see what happens with this. Right now there's no TP rules on NAS, so I'm essentially kind of trading structure and risk reward. With the last 3 days all being winning days we've had, I'm decently into profit now, so this is looking fairly good. And the risk has gone up a bit too. Cool, so there's my target. Going on the flip. Targeting the 1 to 3 here, very simple. Top zone, always a great zone to aim for in terms of place to trade from. Top untap zone is the one that made this whole move happen, so will always look good for us, and that is a trade. Oh, that's an amazing momentum. This is looking very good at the moment. When I got laid out with this trade, I was just finished making eggs on toast, so I might as well go and get that and I'll eat it. Tactically place the fried eggs upside down, so when you cut through them, they'll spill the yolk onto the toast. That's a proper English tactic there. Harry, I'm just eating eggs on toast with a trade absolutely flying to TP. But it's just so casual. Strategy here is very good on the 5 minute. I don't know if I'm supposed to be doing something or no. What a lot of people do in live trade breakdowns. Certain people today will be playing music and doing brain rot stuff for a certain audience. Some might be, I don't even know, there's a load of stuff going on. Real trading, we don't even really care, we're just sitting here. Alright, I slightly messed up my trading view stop loss, so we have actually hit right here. So closing that right there. Obviously it was meant to be directly above the candle. And yeah, 1 to 3 just hit. And the parcel just arrived. Man, this strategy is amazing. Okay, we might not be finished today because I'm still at home and we have this GC demand that's just tapped. Bottom untap zone here, so good place to bottom untap zone. It's a good place to get at. Also, we just took our highs to left before this, So really this is the only zone we consider. And yeah, we'll see if this ends up being valid. Having a good reaction so far. It's also a 15-minute demand. Lines up with it very nicely. So yeah, this one looks good. See if we can get this. Cool, so we tapped right on the edge of the zone. And because of that, I'm going to leave a little bit of space. One pip underneath here. And TP here is a 1 to 2. So we're in. Got in slightly before the close on this one, which made it the smallest amount better, but no real difference there to be honest. See here we have 15-minute candle opening up. So standard market, good market structure here would be if we retest the zone for a bottom wick. Obviously it doesn't have to, but that will line up nicely here for a bottom wick. And hopefully it's not just crashing bearish to stop us out straight away. We're holding directly on the edge right now. It hasn't actually needed any extra space at the moment, but we shall see. Yeah, it's tapped right on the edge. See why I gave it a bit of extra space, just in case we wanted to come a little bit further into the zone. But there we go. It's held right on the edge. There's a big candle to the downside. Wow. Yeah, we're out. Dang. Came out of nowhere. So yeah, fully flipped there. I mean, there's obviously a chance it retests the zone because it was right on the edge, which can happen often, but for now I'm just leaving this. Today's also been amazing, so I'm done for the day at this point. Will I take a re-entry? No need for me to take a re-entry on this one. So there we go. That is Wednesday finished for sure, because now I'm heading out. Yeah, what a day. Wow. What a day. What a week it's been so far. Alright, it's actually rejecting fairly well here. Obviously here's the zone itself. And it's looking pretty good in terms of liquidity. It's at a good distance. It's made an obvious low. And the push to the upside was quite strong from a double bottom around these levels. Push to the upside retraced here. It's not the lowest zone. There's an untapped zone all the way down here. So I'm considering that, but looks like it might get invalidated anyways. Okay, yeah, this is not going to be valid. Cool, invalid. On days like this, I tend to just go out in the morning. I'll really just trade the afternoon session only. I'm only looking at these because I'm doing something anyway, so I like the charts, but I have a freedom at the moment to just trade whenever I want to. Let's say in the morning, I don't want to trade and I just want to go to the beach or go to this cafe or go here and do something. I'll just hop on the bike and go and do that and not trade. I have complete freedom at the moment. It's really amazing. With the 5-minute, it works at any time of the day. If I'm home, chilling here, I can just hop on and trade. So things have been working out really well doing it this way around. Yeah, for now, all zones right here are gone, so I'm just not going to trade this morning session. There's nothing else close by anyways. And yeah, I'll come back in the afternoon potentially and see what's going on there. Alright then, I woke up like half an hour ago, but I just come to the markets quickly because zone on GBP CAD alert has gone off. So this one looks very good. This is the top zone on this push to the downside. It's come up above all the potential zones here. Come up nicely above liquidity, fairly direct movement. So this one looks very nice. GJ has a potential demand. NAS100 supply, but with this type of movement, it doesn't look great anymore. It stops right in front of the zone and comes down. Never really a good sign. Overall, we're bullish, so take note of that. Next candle on GC is a new 15-minute as well. Spreads are fairly large, so I would actually have to use quite a big stop loss. but 50 minutes opened up and it got into the zone I live. So this looks pretty good. I want to make sure I don't enter too early purely because of the spreads. Otherwise, this is a pretty good entry here. I'd rather have my stop loss there, but cool. We're in on this one. Sort of 50-minute flip, but the spreads are so bad I couldn't actually get in on it, which is unfortunate. Okay, so I'm just going to aim for a 1 to 2 most likely on this one. So, see what we can get with this. Yeah, GC is not the most popular pair, so it will never have good spreads, unfortunately. Only really the major crosses will have good spreads. Just simply put this GC position, aiming for that 1 to 2, and that's all. Alright, so gold, stab that zone. With a questionable one, it does have decent liquidity in terms of it being a clear low, but it did take out this kind of high. But it's just really questionable. This is the one you'd want to see it take out, and saying this happened is kind of forceful on the 5 minute at least. Now, sure, this zone could end up winning very easily and go to the upside, but at some point, when you're trading live, you have to be thinking about the downside. Don't get caught up thinking about this can win easily, this can happen, I can make this much, you can go here. Of course, it can still win, because anything can happen. But if it loses, well, you need to be thinking in terms of psychology. You'll be thinking very badly about this position. Oh, clearly, why did I just take that? I obviously didn't take it out of the overall high, I didn't do this. And you start to not trust yourself. When there's something questionable, just don't take the position. You build trust with yourself, regardless of whether it wins or loses. So you need that confidence, you need that psychology in order to be a good live trader. You need to be thinking about downside, not getting caught up with what happens if it wins, because that's not the important part. Yeah, that's a good lesson there of how you should think to be successful in live trading. Just don't take any questionable setups, because those are ones that will annoy you if you lose, or mess up your psychology if you lose. I actually woke up an hour ago. What on earth? And it looks like this I'm about to have a winning trade. I'm only on the markets because there was something I had to do on my computer this morning, and yeah, it looks like we've had a win already. It has actually tapped the 1 to 2 on TradingView. It's a little bit different on there for some reason. But I'm completely okay with holding, just because for one, it'll make a very big difference to the P&L. But this trade, to be honest, is very structural, right? Decent amount of confidence will at least come down this demand zone, if not these lows. So, you never know what will happen, so you're just taking off what you can get easily. I'm fairly confident in this position, so we'll see exactly where it's going. The full 1 to 2, but 1 to 2 is right there in terms of my risk. This is the type of trade where you can easily take a double TP on. Just because it's very early, I kind of got to a position I don't want to be going for double TP and then just not winning the trade. Like, you have to always be aware of what would kind of annoy your psychological state, and like, this is going to set up the rest of the day for me because it's happening early. So I'm completely fine with just taking that 1 to 2. I've got my TP there, but as soon as this crosses, if it gets to that P&L of 1 to 2, I'll just be closing it. So yeah, there we go. I woke up half an hour ago. That's a nice £100 starts the day. You know what? I've never traded live before this, but I'm actually kind of enjoying trading live. It's like a fun, consistent way to just build your live funds. Like in the past, especially with me trading a 30-minute only, when I had a chance to trade live, deposit amounts into live, take a couple wins, decent trades over the space of 2-3 weeks, and then I'll just withdraw it. It was nice to just randomly make money on live, but I didn't have any reason for that extra risk. Right now though, with the 5-minute style, having consistent trades and just kind of consistently growing that live account, to be honest, I'm really enjoying this. So so maybe I'll keep this account open for a long time. I'm not risking like 1% or anything, just because I've deposited a small amount for it to be sort of a stat tracking / trade copier account. Because obviously I'm using Vantage Markets for the majority of all these Forex pairs. So it's helping me to just have the same trading view charts, and obviously Vantage is my live broker, which was the idea behind it. I didn't think I would actually be kind of enjoying it and, you know, making a normal amount of money from the small account. I'm just risking £50 on a half risk and £100 on a full risk. So while I'm slowly growing back anything that will touch the drawdown, this has actually been good in this live account. So maybe I'll just stick on this forever and make it some kind of series. We'll see. But yeah, it's been very good so far. And that right there this morning is a nice 1-2 on GC. The thing is as well here, you can see how broken this would be, because I wanted to get in 15-minute flip. This is a very standard pattern that happens. New high time frame candles opening. When we close right on the edge, it quickly makes that wick and then flips. So like you could see me, I wanted to get in somewhere here. The spreads would have been so close to stop loss anyway, I couldn't really do that. Of course, it was an option for me to just leave then stop loss a little bit higher and enter there and then kind of take the same targets. But it was just unnecessary, right? If I did do that and then I get stopped out by spreads, but price didn't actually hit the stop loss, again, thinking about the downside risk, I'll just be annoyed psychologically. One, it's early in the day, I'm just taking comfortably what I can get and just feeling good about it, not trying to be too aggressive or rushing anything or taking positions that aren't great. Gold completely invalidated that zone, but gold would be an example of that. So yeah, hopefully this series is very helpful for you guys in just terms of trying to show how I think daily, how I think in live positions at the charts, and how different it is, I suppose, to what the unprofitable trader or average trader thinks like, which I know that because that used to be me. And I'd come to the charts with almost acting opposite to how I act now, how I think now about positions, and the way I've developed trading, especially for the 5-minute. Like when you're trading live, you have to be very, very consistent, very confident in your decisions, and very decisive, listening to that intuition or that feeling to not do something that you have all the time, because you'll build confidence with yourself by doing that. So yeah, this series on it, to be honest, should be very, very valuable, and I'll be posting one of these weekly. So yeah, this series should be very valuable, and let's keep it going. What an amazing week it's been so far. To be honest, I don't really need to trade again today, so maybe later in the afternoon session I'll come back here, but for now kind of have most of the day to just do some other stuff, to be honest. There we go. What a morning.